All right, welcome back everyone to Podcast Theory Productions. My name is Jesse, and today we have with us Miss Monica Mojica. Thank you, Monica, for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And also we have Stephanie and Trent with us as well, part of the team. Thank you too for joining us as well.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
No, absolutely. So if you guys, Monica, you are the writer and director of the film Who to Save. What can you tell us about this film, and what about it got you guys' trailer accepted for the High Desert screening?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So Who to Save focuses on 9-year-old Sofia Flores, and she came to America from Colombia. And she left under terrible circumstances, and the U.S. was her only way out. Where the movie takes place is at her school. She bites her gifted facilitator in the arm, and an administrator comes to her and is like, "You need to take care of this. You need to report this. These are violations. This is endangering all of the other students." And her gifted facilitator, whose name is Jennifer, says, I'm not going to report this because any spotlight on Sophia will be a spotlight on her family and their plight. And I'm not going to do this. Her family came to the United States illegally. So you have a real contentious point with upper administration who is holding these ideals in their head, and the teacher who is in the trenches with the student. Of course, what happened is terrible. Of course, you need to think about all the other students, but at what point? So this film is sort of the crucial turning point where we ask the hard questions. And each of the characters are steadfast in their resolve to be sure that their idealisms are represented. And this came out of a time of great divisiveness where we are being pulled apart, and there's no answers. There's no answers to this. And I teach theater, and Guillermo is actually a wonderful actor, writer, also part of our group, and a consummate artist. And he knows that I teach from Aristotle. And one of the things that Aristotle says is that good art should provide a jumping off place for questions, but not necessarily provide the answers. So our film says, hey, this is going on. There are no clear choices. Who do we save?
Okay, yeah, so it's designed to make you think for yourself.
I imagine, I've shown it, the script to people, and it's so interesting to hear their, whatever their preconceived notions are, either politically or socially, be reinforced by the same script. So
Right.
It really is pretty open.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so what was it that initially inspired you to take on this journey of writing and directing and producing all this?
Oh my gosh, I will tell you, even though it's a little bit challenging. My aunt had a Facebook page, and it said, "I would rather die of COVID than be a Democrat." And I found that stance interesting, and it provoked some questions with me, because that's pretty strong. And
Right.
This happened right when COVID started, right when hundreds and thousands of people were losing their lives. And it was kind of end of the world. Remember how we felt in July?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I read that, and I was like, wow. And everyone's heralding and championing the child's plight. So it made me start thinking about what if this was happening in a school system, and a place that's supposed to be a safe place, and a place that's supposed to bring together all kinds of diverse in the name of higher learning. So that's kind of where the genesis of that came, and then
Okay.
it kind of wrote itself. And I've been teaching for 18 years, And it's so frustrating sometimes. I've definitely had students that desperately need help. I have had students that are no longer in this world because they didn't get the help that they needed. Mm-hmm. And I thought, if this could just spark one conversation, then maybe we can have one more answer and take one more step towards healing.
Yeah, so it sounds like this is a very passionately and emotionally driven project due to your years of experience that you just finally said, you know what, I'm putting a film out. I want people to talk.
It is, and I connected with the right people. Our group is called Indie Genus. Not like Regina says, it's indie, we do indie films. And genus, like the classification of things. And some of us are indigenous. I myself am Laguna Pueblo. My name is with Open Heart in my tribe. Guillermo is also indigenous. Michael Bricker is also indigenous. He works with us. So, you know, like, Jesse, when you put something out in your heart, in your head, and everything just kind of manifests in your outward reality, and things start happening, and I have to say, Trent, who's going, hopefully you're going to meet him in Albuquerque.
Hope so.
Yes, Trent, an amazing actor, an amazing person, and it was the most happy kismet of my life. Besides getting married and all that other stuff, you know, having my child was kind of up there too. But it was just like, oh my gosh, and this is coming to life. And I have to say that Guillermo, especially, really helped me with directing. I think that he's got an eye. He can just see things and be like, this is that. Like he can just put things together. We also have an amazing cinematographer whose name is Aaron, a sound guy named Keith, and Stephanie organizing everything. It has just been such a blessing. And the fact that we were lucky and honored enough to come see you is the cherry on top.
Oh, thank you. Okay, Mon, I want to ask you one quick question before I ask your team some questions.
Yes.
Did you, by chance, because I noticed you said your inner world manifests your outer world, basically. So I'm wondering, did you by chance mention that in the film, or did you hint at that?
That's a fine question, Jesse. And yes, I did. I don't think it's like particularly scripted out, but certainly it is. I tell that to my students because I've lived that in my life, and I'm guessing that maybe you have too, that what you hold in your inside will manifest on your outside. And so by holding and selecting the thoughts that cultivate the most whole expression of self, you'll see it multiply. And it also kind of takes away the jealousy portion of it, which so much of this film stuff and theater, I mean, it is. There's a sense of competition, but when you can look beyond that and see that we're really all in this together, and that's kind of what this film is about. We are in this together.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, I ask because the full-time podcast that I do, I actually teach about that, if you will, the whole law of attraction, spirituality thing.
I teach it too. We need to collaborate on something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have each other's emails now.
Yes, we do. Yay. See, all this kismet, I just got goosebumps. Yeah,
there you go. Okay, so some questions here. Stephanie and Trent, for you guys, what is your involvement with the project, and what drew you guys to it?
I am the executive producer of our group, and I do all the, background behind the scenes and production prep.
Okay, so you got your hands full.
She's a blessing.
Okay, so
yes, I'm the one sending everyone the papers saying, sign here, sign here, sign here, making it all official.
She does the work that the rest of us don't want to do.
She does the work. Stephanie, are you dragging your poor husband through all this?
Actually, I think he drug me into it.
she's actually a geologist, a professional geologist. She just got roped into production because I've been in film for a long time, went back to school for film, and everything's just kind of taken off. I started out as a grip and ended up going for directing and writing and now acting, and she just, her background really said production, and I saw it and I asked her, you know, we're married, let's work together and get this done, and then everything kind of came together and it's been great. So
That is the coolest thing. I love that. That is so awesome. It just warms my heart. Husband and wife team working together, and so it's your fault. You pushed her into all this.
you know,
I willingly went.
hey, they're always saying half is mine and half is okay. Well, here's your half of the
There
work.
you go. Have some of the work. Now, Stephanie, since you're a geologist, have you ever heard of Greg Braden?
Great Britain?
No, Greg Braden.
Oh, I'm not familiar with the name.
Okay, I'm just curious. He's a very famous geologist who lives here in New Mexico, up here in Santa Fe, and he started getting off on the whole path that Monica and I were just talking about. So I was just curious if you guys maybe heard names.
My background is more in Idaho geology. I moved down here to work on the NASA test facility.
Oh, wow. That is so cool.
Isn't it cool?
That's great. Wow. Okay. And Trent, for you, good sir, what role do you have in all this?
I am the assistant production manager and an actor/actress. I play a small role in this film. Just I'm the bad guy, like always. I've acted in 2 things now, and one with Guillermo and one with just a couple of friends. And for some reason, everyone says that I have a villain face for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, so I just help around on set. If they need something like coffee or water or something, then I'm there and I help set up everything. And that's pretty much and I ask. I'll mention that again. I asked in it, and so.
He also just graduated from high school. So.
He just graduated from high school.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
So much.
Okay, so Trent.
We're starting him young.
He hit the ground running, basically.
Hit the ground running. Good. You started him off as a bad guy right away.
Yeah, it just happened now.
It just happened. So Trent, do you have any personal life experiences that you drew from in order to put into the character?
God, I hope not.
Yeah, no, not really. I can't think of anything really that made me draw into the character. I just went to location, and Monica just said, "You're gonna be hunting Guillermo and his daughter down." And so then then she kind of just told me that there's runaways, that you're trying to capture them. So I just decided, hey, I'm just gonna yell at them to come back here, and that was pretty much it. I really don't think, I just do.
Okay, right off the cuff. I like it. Very nice. Okay, so Monica, do you have any upcoming projects in the future that you have going to be working on?
Yes, Indigenous is working on another script that Guillermo wrote and will also star in, that I believe is starring Trent. And it is, Guillermo, do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. It's called Stay. At least that's the working title for now. But yeah, I just kind of watching the news over this whole COVID pandemic. It's about a son who was left, not necessarily on purpose, but by the father, was left with a mother who, he was a nurse and went to go help out in some of these hospitals that needed it and got stuck there. And the reality of it. The mom ends up with COVID, and it's that whole situation, and then coming back and trying to restore, the pieces of the relationship that have broken because of that separation and everything that's happened between in the whole story. But yeah, so it very covers, for me, it covered the essential workers, you know what I mean? And some of the stuff
Right.
that they go through trying to support each other. You know what I mean? We talk about us as actors supporting each other, being in creativity. They really, at that time, were supporting each other.
Oh, absolutely.
Because how many of them were 48 hours into working and no sleep, and they were doing what they can, but even that, they were still shorthanded, got stuck places they didn't intend to, and so it kind of brings a lot of that to life and just gives that a little bit of a voice as well. So.
Okay, so is that going to be a short film?
Yes.
Okay.
That'll be a short. We did another one called Inconvenience with Michael Bricker, and Trent stars as one of the robbers and stuff. So we did that in January, and with Who to Save, and then now looking at doing future projects and other things. But one of them would be a short of this. So.
And I should say we are filming Who to Save. We're going to be filming that in September.
Okay.
So that seems like an important thing to mention.
Yes, it really does. Yeah.
As we're doing one project, we're thinking about the next one.
Well, that's good. You got to keep it rolling. You got to keep it stacked up, And Trent, what about you? Do you have anything coming up in the future?
Actually, yes. I actually thought of this today. It's kind of based on a true story.
Okay.
Combination between me and my father's life, me and my dad's life. We both have ADHD, and for our entire life, we've been kind of seen different. No one would understand us, and I would try to make friends, and they just didn't connect with me. And for example, they would think of something that they thought was funny. I didn't think it was funny, so we didn't really connect. And so what my story is just about a kid that has ADHD and dyslexia whose family doesn't really understand him and kind of keep him out, and at school he's not accepted. But then, so through life, he's kind of trying to become part of society, and that's all I got so far. But
okay,
it's just today that I thought of it, and I thought it would be a fun little project.
That sounds like an exciting project.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hope to see that come to fruition someday.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention, this is to show kids with ADHD that you're not alone in this world, that you're not the only one who's dealing with these problems, that there are other people. All you need to do is just find people that are like you, kind of, that people that understand you. Thankfully, I've been able to find this great group of filmmakers who have made me feel like I am welcome. So that's all I have to really say about that, to give more description about what the film, the message of the film is.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you so much. That sounds wonderful. All right. Well, you guys have any social media pages or anything you guys want to shout out?
Can we get back to you on that, Jesse?
Yeah.
We're sort of in the middle of putting that together. We hope to have something concrete out in a couple of weeks, but we sure would appreciate any help in getting that info out. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, if you're whenever you're ready, just let me know. I just like to give everybody I interview a chance to shout out, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, if they want to. You don't have to.
That's fabulous. Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you got anything else you want to kind of get out there?
I just think that we should remember that we're all in this together.
Yeah.
And I just want to continue to capitalize on the love that brings out the healing.
Okay. I'm so glad you said that. I normally don't ask that question, but that's why I did for you. That because your project is going that way. So definitely.
Can I ask you, Jesse? Do you speak Chekhov? Do you know what I mean when I say that?
No. What is that?
No, Michael Chekhov. You know about it, right?
Yeah, Michael Chekhov is
Monica can tell you better than I can. But yes.
No, he's an actor, and that's who I teach primarily from is Michael Chekhov. Instead of Stanislavski, which is where you have to feel all your feelings, Michael Chekhov says you physicalize them, and then the audience infers meaning. So it doesn't put the actor at emotional risk.
Really?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of teachings that you're talking about. You know what I mean? All the different. There's a lot of that involved in the teachings of Michael Chekhov with acting. It kind of intertwines, and so.
Is there somewhere where I can study his work or read about that?
Yeah, NMCA. It's the National Michael Chekhov Association. It's Lisa Dalton, and the director for the theater for NMSU is one of the master teachers, Will Kilroy.
Okay.
So, yeah, but nmca.net.
NMCA.net. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. Wow, that's great.
Pretty neat.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, I guess we are all done here. So I'd like to thank you guys, all of you, Stephanie, Trent, Stephanie's husband. I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
It's all right, Guillermo.
Guillermo. Okay. Like the actor Guillermo Del
Yes.
Toro.
Actor and yes.
Actor, director.
Okay. Well, thank you so much to all of you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys. Trent, I look forward to seeing you Friday if you're going to be here. Monica, is anybody else going to be there?
Unfortunately or fortunately, it is my husband's birthday, and before we realized this honor of getting accepted, we had made plans that would cost us a lot of money to cancel. So Trent is going in our stead, and he's going to be just fabulous.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here, doing the interview. Good luck on making the movie, and congratulations on the trailer selection. And Monica, if you ever, you got my email if you ever want to.
I am totally going to hit you up.
Okay, swap some ideas here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you guys again. Appreciate you guys, and hopefully I will be talking again soon at some point for another project.
Amen.
We look forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you all so much. I appreciate it,
Nice
and
to meet you.
have a good night.